Paul's one of the biggest legends in the history of the entire Juke Squad channel.
He grabs his friends, gawks at me, points at me, and says, "Hey, you got a big black on your board."
We are actually planning on bringing the world's biggest skimboard to Mexico this year.
If the world was round, if I tried to run around the whole world, I'd fall off the edge.
Paul has some of the best dressed Halloween costumes. Look for him dressed as Donald Trump.
If you doubt anything that happens with space or NASA, that you have to believe the Earth is flat.
We do have to finish that, but we still created something that will change the world. Welcome back to the SquadCast. We are leaving for Mexico in less than 36 hours. So we figured we would bring on one of the unspoken heroes of the Juke Squad crew, Paul. He helped us design the world's biggest skimboard. He helped us build Bikini Bottom from the Flugtag. Anytime I need to build some crazy shit or we need to build some shit, we hit Paul up. And he helps us. And he makes us succeed. We also have Merrick, of course.
Edwin. Hey, hold on. He's also created every skimboard you've ever ridden in your whole career. Can you say that too?
Oh, yeah. He also has a skimboard company. Oh, it's actually...
Almost all of them.
Yeah, I've been making them.
I mean, you're responsible even if he's making them.
Owner of Apex Skimboards. We're going to get into the whole skimboarding thing here in a second. This is the Tequila podcast mainly because Edwin bailed on us and went to Hawaii.
What's the top comment say?
Please comment down below what you would like to see Edwin do for his humiliation for missing a podcast episode. No one's allowed to miss an episode. He's not here. That's lame. That's lame.
I think technically if he had a good excuse, it was okay, but still I want to,
So basically,
put some good comments.
I'm here too.
Oh, yeah.
What was that?
Paul's one of the biggest legends in the history of the entire Juke Squad channel, when it really comes down to it. To start, how old do you think I was when you first saw me, maybe?
When you started taking pictures of me at the beach.
We weren't on a first name basis for many years.
First saw you, you must have been like 4 or 5 years old.
Can you put the mic up to your mouth?
Oh. When I first saw him, he was about 4 or 5 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Whoa! What's one of like the fondest memories you have of like myself and my friends and my brothers growing up on the beach?
They weren't fond. You kids were reckless. So we all skimmed behind your house. It was really good there. And I was going to college at the time, and thought it was really cool. Like, wow, I could go out skimboard on a Tuesday morning and not have a bunch of riffraff around in the spot. And then these albino kids start running around with one boxing glove on each hand, beating the shit out of each other in the lineup as I'm trying to run and catch waves. Like, what the? Like, somebody scrape these kids off the fucking beach and take them away. I mean, that's my first impression of you, Jack.
I feel as though like you have Paul, you have a very interesting story when it comes down to it. Just like from childhood until your school years, and then like what you did with your business growing up, and the fact that you run a successful business now and you have no website whatsoever, and pretty much
website.
You do?
Yeah, it just hasn't been updated.
You mean Apex Skimboards?
Yeah.
No, I mean like your actual business.
Did you guys?
My other business. I don't even have a business card for that one.
Did you guys see how fast Jack changed the subject there when you told the story about wanting to scrape him off the beach? It was suddenly a whole new subject.
We were not very well perceived in the skimboarding community, mainly because me and Turner looked alike, and Turner snaked everyone. Turner would take everyone's wave.
This is before you started skimming.
Oh, fair enough.
You didn't even have wood skimboards yet.
Mm-hmm. And
what?
So we're going to Cabo soon.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Cody, everybody.
This is Cody. He's coming to Cabo too, right?
Yeah.
Nice. How was your first year in Cabo? I watched the clips the other day, and you looked really shy and nervous.
I was not shy and nervous. I was just getting fucked.
You look
like Cabo.
So, Paul, tell us a little bit about what you do.
I would say I make things real. So if you think about something and you want it off your computer and something you could actually touch, I'm the guy who makes it happen. So
Or we might have to get him to chill.
Could you make my AI girl? Can you make my AI girlfriend real?
Okay, well, I don't want to go down those sorts of
I've been
paths.
looking
I'm
at
talking about wholesome, fun activities, not pseudo relationships with robots.
Everyone be quiet for 1 second. I think that the
We're gonna hear it the
podcast
whole
can
time.
appreciate that there's a skate jam outside, right?
There is, yeah. There's a skate jam
I
outside.
mean, you know, if this makes you upset, then you're probably going to yell at people for skateboarding on the sidewalk outside your house, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
We could go tell them to shut up.
I mean,
but
we also
it
do
also...
this like once every 2 weeks and
Yeah.
for like 45 minutes, and they can come skate here any other time when we're not filming.
It's the it's the Tequila podcast.
Yeah, it's all
it's
good.
just, you know, Edwin's not even here. That's already a bummer.
Miss you, buddy.
Miss you, Edwin. Miss you, Edwin. We all wish you were here. But
Loser.
We're super glad that we get to humiliate the shit out of you in the next episode. That's going to be really fun. So, Paul, when was the first time you came to Mexico?
Oh, gosh. I don't know, maybe at least 10 years ago, maybe, right?
Sounds about right. Merrick was the first person I ever went with. We went as a
You
pair.
were going there like years before I ever went there.
Yeah, you went one year before I did.
I went once by myself when I was 18 years old. Yeah, and I met up with Ken Suzuki. He helped me in. Like, that was before the custom forms were in English, so things were a little bit more complicated. Dude, it was tough.
Yeah, they did
But the
not.
next year, Merrick came, and we stayed at in the back
Marte
of town.
Cortez,
Marte
right?
Cortez. It's
Yeah.
closed down now, so we can say the name, but we were really worried staying there to the point where we bought luchador masks and put our pillows in them,
Dude.
and laid a bunch of stuff underneath the sheets, so if people looked in, it would just be so creepy that there's no way they would rob us.
Dude, you remember scaring the shit out of everybody with that mask? Like Frankie Orlando?
Yeah.
That dude Eric?
Yeah,
Dude,
Eric.
there's that clip is somewhere. Holy shit.
So Cody, going into Cabo,
Yeah,
how do you feel this year?
I'm ready. I got destroyed last year. Messed up both my legs. I was bedridden for 5 days. I got hurt on the worst wave that I probably ever went for.
Literally.
Yeah, you shouldn't have
in
even
in
gone
my
for that
head,
at all.
in the time, I thought it was like a double up, and I thought I was going to get shacked, and then...
So for a little bit more context, because I didn't introduce him at all, he's the team Grom. Currently, he's actually off the team, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, he's
Why?
not currently on the team.
I can't remember if
You
he's
remember
on
we
the
sat
team.
down and called you and broke the news to you?
Yeah, I mean, but that happens
You're off the team now?
every other day.
Yeah, he's
so.
currently
I
not on
can't
the
keep
team.
track of it anymore.
neither.
I know, it's tough. It sucks.
I didn't,
Can't
they
you
didn't-
just stay on the team?
I didn't even make a board this year.
I know.
I
That's
guess he's off the team.
probably part of the reason why you're off the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you were on the team, you probably would have made a board.
Yeah. Or I'm just trying to get redemption for last year.
What is what was the first video you were involved with on the YouTube channel, Paul? Do you recall? Was it SpongeBob? Was it the world's biggest skimboard?
No, he definitely helped on
No.
something before that. Like
Cheese sandwich at a party?
The
It
evil
was
hole.
some random nonsense like that, probably at a party. Just me being, I don't even know.
Probably one of your Halloween outfits.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah,
Paul
remember-
is actually has some of the best dressed Halloween costumes. I'm going to have to send some pictures to the editor or else look for him dressed as Donald Trump.
The first night I ever hung out with you guys, Paul showed up to the house, and then beers were passed around, and then next thing you know, we played dress up with Paul and put him in a Pit Viper shirt with yellow Crocs or something.
Paul, how many different world leaders have you dressed up as?
I only picked the major ones. So far it's been Donald Trump and Xi Jinping.
All right, so at least
But I
two.
did do the mayor of Tampa recently.
I feel like
That's
you could
not a
do
world leader.
You could do Fidel Castro pretty good if you tried.
Think so?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go for Justin Trudeau instead.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
So tell us a little bit about your CNC shop, the reason that you're actually so helpful when it comes to all the productions that we hit you up with. Obviously, we did the world's biggest skimboard. If you haven't seen that video, it's one of the most elaborate pranks on the channel. Paul, I'm still sorry for lying to you for 4 days in a row.
Yeah, I got over it.
But we are actually planning on bringing the world's biggest skimboard to Mexico this year. We're gonna
How
walk
are we
into
gonna
the
do
airport.
that?
We pay for the bag.
You're going to make
We-
me carry it and the heaviest
We
skimboard?
print out the bag tag. We stick it on the board and say, "Hey, this is prepaid," and we just try to hand it to them.
How do we get it home if it doesn't work?
I'm not worried about that.
We have the factory.
We're just
okay?
gonna
We could
leave it
leave
at
it there.
the
We'll just
airport.
put it
Just
up
make
next to
another
the
one.
cross on.
Cody, that's the one thing you don't understand. These things are immaterial because we own the means of production.
If you make another one, we should
Okay.
do the outline of me.
There you go.
The outline of
Like
you.
I'll lay on the
Okay.
art, and then you can Sharpie around me on the board.
Okay, but we're not giving you all of the features that the world's biggest skimboard has.
So one of Paul's most famous Juke Squad moments was the fact that he CNC cut out the hinge
Yes.
for Patrick Starr's house.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's
that
right.
because I was like, Paul, how do I build this? And I showed you the video or like
Yeah.
pictures of and you're like, I can build a hinge to where you guys can actually open and close it. And I was like, I didn't even consider that as a possibility at the time. I was just trying to make a rock. But then Paul allowed us to actually be able to open and close Patrick Starr's house, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then after that, we were like, we can build Squidward and SpongeBob's too.
Yeah, I know. You guys, you took that project. to
Well,
the
me,
moon right there.
me, American Edwin fought
Yeah.
for weeks about that.
Well, you
but-
did a great job.
Thank you.
You guys did a great job on those other 2 builds.
Thanks.
They sure did.
Man. So they sure did.
So, to get a little bit more into the history of Paul, what shape is the planet?
Huh?
What shape is the world?
Oh, it's flat.
Can you elaborate?
I mean, you ever see a frisbee?
It's pretty accurate.
You just turn it upside down and hold water, right?
Frisbees are flat.
Fair. Like, have
Okay.
you ever seen toilets flush on different sides of the world?
Yeah.
Yeah, that proves it's flat too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got, the further you are from the edge.
All right, so
Dude, if it was curved
spinning
and I
fast.
ran around the world, I'd fall off.
I could care less.
No, you wouldn't. You have to deal with the southern perimeter.
Yes, don't
Okay,
forget about the
there's
southern
an
perimeter.
ice sheet on the southern
No, but I'm
perimeter
saying if the world
that holds the
if
water
the
in?
world was round,
South
if I
isn't
tried
even
to
real,
run
Paul.
around the whole world, I'd fall off the edge.
South is a fake direction.
It's every direction.
There's only
You
down.
can go any direction that you want, and you.
No, so we got to make one thing clear about so we're going to talk about like a bunch of stuff, but like feel like Jack's under this impression that if you doubt anything that happens with space or NASA, that you have to believe the Earth is flat.
That's not true.
And like it could not be further from the truth because I think NASA has been lying to us about a lot of stuff, especially the moon landing, especially certain things during the Cold War. They were propaganda more than they were for science. But that does not mean I think the Earth is flat or that space is fake or that anything else is like that.
I think there's a fucking massive difference between not believing that we've gone to the moon and thinking the Earth is flat. I think that if you think the Earth is flat, you obviously don't think we've ever gone to the moon. But I don't think that because you don't think we've gone to the moon, you think the Earth is flat. Personally, I feel like I'm not smart enough to definitively say whether we have or haven't gone because that's not my field. I think we have
Here's my
because we
next
went
question.
6 times. Tried to go 9,
Paul,
whatever.
What technology was better in the 60s than it is now?
Telephones.
Telephones?
Yes.
Like for real, like
Absolutely.
so like
Bar none.
not like
Telephones.
rocket
No,
surgery.
telephones. And I'm
Okay.
going to explain why. You figure, okay, I just set up a new shop. We have 3 areas. We got a front room, we got a sanding room, and we got a resin room. And I wanted to set up a telephone in each one and have it linked so, you call the shop up, the phone rings.
Yeah.
So, remember like when you're growing up in your house, you'd have like maybe like 2
A
or 3
set of,
phones.
like, the couple
Right.
phones,
And
yeah.
you call the same number, they all ring at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Well, the shop I'm
turn on.
at, because of like where it is, they don't have the actual like the modern fiber telephone service.
Like a
run to it.
landline?
Yeah, so they'd have to dig a trench and all this stuff. So I said, you know what? It's not necessary. I'll get a cell phone. Okay, that's supposed to be the best thing. You know how long it took to make 3 cell phones ring at the same time from the same number? I had to go back to the cell phone company for a month, like every week, like 2 or 3 times, and talking to the same people about the same nonsense, trying to load some stupid app and synchronize it. And I'm thinking, for the entire course of history, this is how telephones work. Now you're telling me telephones don't work anymore? You kidding me?
Yep.
Go back to the 60s.
That's crazy.
Show me your rotary phone and hook it up in my shop and make it work without all this hassle.
Yeah, you used to be able to buy you'd get the one phone with the big receiver, and then you get like 2 or 3 other phones that were just on a little
not only
charger.
not only that, it didn't matter what outlet you plugged the telephone in,
Yeah.
it just rang. Okay, now it goes through the app and goes to the internet and then back to the other one. So now this one's ringing first. Okay, but then the other one are waiting for the server to catch up, and they're not ringing at the same time. And by the time the third one rings, the customer already hangs up. I mean, can't we get telephones to ring? I mean, this is...
I have to chime in here. Cody,
ridiculous.
Phones used to have to plug in, and they had to be wired so that you could make phone calls. They weren't always wireless.
Really?
Yep.
So the reason I asked you that question, Paul, is because NASA's stance with the reason we haven't gone back to the moon is that we had better technology in the 1960s to build a rocket than we do today.
Yeah.
But
how are they going to call space?
There's not any other technology in this whole world that has gotten worse over the last 60 or 70 years, apparently, except building rockets. And so, I figured you're one of the smartest people I know.
Don't get me started. I can name a lot of things.
I thought we were better at building rockets now. I thought SpaceX.
So why haven't we gone back to the moon?
That's an excellent question. I think we're going to go back in 2028, right?
Oh, thank you.
So
I thought we just got back from the moon.
No, they just did they said they did a circle around the moon.
It's okay. I
They
didn't
didn't
want
actually
one, Jack.
go to the moon, which is a huge, I don't know. For the last year, they're like, "We're going back to the moon. We're going back to the moon." Well,
do you
they didn't even get close.
Do you guys think that there was people on that rocket ship?
Dude,
Rocket ship?
I have a hard time
On the
believing
like the
anything.
10, they went to 10-day trip.
They left on April Fools.
Yeah.
And flew around the moon.
Yeah.
But here, Jack, here, we can put this in the. I'll send this to the editors.
We got to get Brad Evers on here because his wife apparently was like a big part of the Artemis 2 mission.
Really?
There's Artemis 2 on the sets on the sound stage.
You could fake that easily.
Oh,
I
for
could
sure,
make
for
that
sure.
right
It
now.
definitely could be fake. But
You know what? Every time I hear that word Artemis, I always think of South Park. You know why? Because Cartman had a stuffed animal with a frog, and he called it Artemis Clyde Frog. Yeah. And that's all I can think of.
those are early episodes.
Yeah, they say
Paul, I brought you on this podcast because you're like a smart guy.
Yeah.
Then you start talking about Artemis Clyde Frog. Well, we're talking about space.
Yeah.
That's
We
tight.
were talking about skimboarding. Now we're talking about aliens.
Oh, let's get into the skimboarding. Okay, so we're going to Cabo San Lucas this year. It seems like there's a new tradition where we're pranking team riders.
Oh, yeah.
And a few months ago, I came to you and I was like, "Hey, Paul, what if we make the world's heaviest and the world's lightest skimboard?" And you were like, "Hell yeah!" Next thing I know, I show up to Apex and Paul's like 80% done building them. Like, the skeletons are set up. He's like, "Look at this. We're going to fill this with a bunch of bullshit." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Staples. Anything heavy we can find. Bring over a bunch of shit." I brought over like a rusted fucking pliers and a bunch of metal shit and just threw it all on the board. And
Right.
you can see it on screen. We got some pictures of it. But what I am really curious about is the fact that we're going to put that through customs.
Yeah, I bet you $10 it's not making it through customs.
Well, it's going to be under your name, and you're going
why
to have
don't
to
they
carry
go
it.
make it?
Have you not seen the
They've never had to deal with anything like it.
There's going to be normal skimboards with foam, and then there's just going to be one random skimboard with a bunch of knife-looking materials.
But as long as it's checked, it's fine.
Yeah,
But what
Like
about
you can take a gun on an airplane as long as it's checked.
But they scan it in customs once we get there if you hit the red button.
No.
dude, stop faking it. That's just a skimboard. Yeah, that's the heavy one.
Here's the heavy one.
Oh my god.
Dude.
Running out for a wave and it just gets
No, it's just gonna sink.
I think this thing could kill someone. I'm 1,000% sure it doesn't float.
take your feet off.
Do you?
It would take you off of the ankles.
Can you imagine trying to do a
peg
3
leg
shove and it
pirate.
hits your ankles?
I think I have to do a 3 shove.
That would.
I think you gotta run and just let it hit the ground and just stop moving. You just go right past it. Like it just will just.
I'll do it. I'll try to catch a wave on
This
it.
thing's what, 80, 100 pounds? 80,
It's
70?
36, but it's because every time you pick up a skimboard, you're like,
Yeah.
it's complete.
I guess I was way over exaggerating, but it feels like at least 50 or 60 pounds.
No, John Gordon was like, I think, is that 100 pounds? And like, because you've never held a skimboard close to this much, you just think, it just feels so unnatural. Replay. Anyway, so Paul,
Yes.
Tell us
Paul.
about your CNC business. Like, what do you do for a living? I know that you have a skimboard company you've been working on for over 10 years. We've been working on it together,
More than that.
actually.
I started making boards before
I said
the turn
over
of the
10
century.
years, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably 20 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul, you used to be a good-looking
I would say
dude
like
back in the day.
17.
Dude, Paul, he was a stud back in the day.
All right, wait.
Paul's still a stud. What do you mean?
What about the time that you had to cut up your traction pads? Can you tell us about that story, start to finish?
Are you just trying to get one back at me at this point?
No, dude, that's genuinely like one of the greatest Tifu moments of all time.
All right. So
When we finally got introduced to each other, like as skimboarders, I'll kind of lead you there.
Okay,
We didn't
so-
we were little shitheads that were punching each other in the face, blah, 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 blah. And then like at a certain point, it's like, wow, like these kids, like, you know, they're skimming. They're like catching waves. They're like, you know, at least part of the culture, whether they're annoying or not. Like we had to be accepted because everyone's skimming outside of our house. And like we live there and it's just like, you know, like they're skimboarders. Skimboarding is a very inclusive sport. People welcome people in. And to a certain point, everybody kind of knew who we were because they couldn't ignore us because Turner was taking everyone's waves.
right.
And then,
Jack was like the little shit that lived on North Shore. We're like, nobody liked him, but he lived there, so had to let him surf, you know.
and then one day, Paul just made a brand new board, and he shows
Well,
up.
there's more to it than that. There's more to it.
Take it away.
I was riding, I think it was like a 54-inch board, and you know what? We were over at Channel 3. We were skimming off the rocks at Channel 3, and it was just breaking on just a little bit too far out, and I was losing just a little bit too much speed to really connect and get a good ride off of it. So I was like, okay, well, I know the waves are going to be similar tomorrow, so let me go back to the shop. I'm going to make a brand new board. I'm going to put a little bit more width, a little bit more length, get a little bit more flotation, go up to 3/4-inch core. Put a lot of heart into this board to make sure I could skim the next day. And I made that board. I stayed up all night, like 4 a.m., finishing this board so I could skim the next morning. And I didn't have any traction, but we were making flow boards at the time, so I had C deck, you know, like you put on your boats. So I thought, okay, I'm making like more like a cruiser board, so I'm just going to do like a full deck traction, kind of like more like a wake surf type board like you see now. But I didn't have enough to cover the whole board, so I had to like narrow it out in like a couple areas. So I made like a tail pad area, and I made kind of like a front deck area. And then, so, you know, like, it's a bigger board, you want to move your feet around, so I made like a little connecting area so you could like slide your back foot forward. And I did it all in black, and I embossed like white Apex logos in it. I thought the board was sick. And I came out all proud the next day at the beach, and I didn't skim over at Channel 3. I ended up behind these people's house.
Specifically Turner's.
Specifically Turner's house.
Yeah.
And I'm walking down the boardwalk, holding this board, all proud with a smile on my face.
Second you get there.
And as soon as Turner turns around and sees me coming up to the beach, he grabs his friends, gawks at me, points at me, and says, "Hey, you got a big black dick on your board." Because the traction pad connected, it looked like, you know.
How old was he at this time?
Like 10.
10.
Okay, so like young.
You know what the worst part is? The next day, he came back, and the board had the shaft cut out.
I circumcised that board to keep these little...
And then we all started laughing even harder because you cut the dick apart because Turner made fun of you. And then it was just... then, you know what really sucks is that's the last skimboard you ever made for yourself.
Yeah.
Now, what about the Nazi one?
No, I mean, that was the board I was riding the day before. That
Wow,
was a
you've
little
had
bit
it that long?
That's such a
Oh
good
my
story.
gosh.
Yo,
Turner's such a
can I
dick.
tell you a story just like that about Turner?
What?
So this company right here, SWC.
Skinny Water Culture. Shout out. Shout out.
My good buddies Vince and Skip and Ray started it, and years ago, we were surfing at sandbags or skimming and surfing, and like Skip showed up, and Skip's like an OG surfer, filmed a whole bunch of like Lost videos back in the day, and like
Dustin
surfed pipe
Howard,
and, like,
Corey Lopez.
yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, Turner, this is one of the guys, told Jack and Turner, like, this is one of the guys doing Skinny Water Culture. And he goes, oh, Small Wiener Club? And I've never been able to live that down. We still bring it up to like this day because all
like-
the logos are SWC, and so just small wiener club from here on out.
And like when we're all hanging out with Steve-O and like he told a joke and we all started laughing. Trey goes, "Ha, that wasn't funny at all." And
Straight to his face, like
we're all just laughing. Like if Steve-O tells a joke and we're filming, it's like ha ha ha. But Turner's just like, that wasn't funny at all. Just looks at the camera. Turner's ability to just clap everyone alive,
no filter.
it's insane.
That's why he's such a good streamer.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
why
filter.
yeah.
Just everything that he says is right off the top of his head. You know?
Jack, did you know me and Merrick met back in like 2014, 2015?
Fishing, right?
Yeah,
I was trying to meet little kids online. 14-year-olds send me inappropriate messages.
I was the victim.
Shout out, Dr. Dis.
Now look at this. We're roommates.
Oh no, is that even
I
worse?
groomed him through fishing. Just groomed him up.
Some dead air right now.
In
We
game,
left him speech. In game,
satirically
of course.
speaking,
In game, of course.
In game, of course.
No, realistically,
in game,
so, like,
in game.
Way back in the day.
Cody,
this
how did
kid-
we meet?
This kid would message me
Huh?
on Instagram or Facebook. Was it Instagram?
No, we met at ICAST.
Yeah, we met
And
at
then
ICAST,
gave
but
me
you
your
would message
You gave
me.
me your number.
And you'd be like, I'm catching snook at the pier. You got to come down. And you're like, this little, because like, you know, it's around the time when Juke Squad was pretty big.
Wait,
You guys
wait,
were-
no,
you
let me
guys-
just clarify. The joke is that he groomed Cody.
Yeah.
And like, if you look at Merrick, like he knows nothing about grooming. Like, look at his fucking hair. Like, that shit's a mess. He's never groomed himself in his life. He
I
can't
also
groom-
don't like
he
boys.
can't groom
You were like-
himself. He
That
can't
was a
groom
joke.
himself.
I'm comfortable with myself. I can make funny jokes. It was.
you were like 21, 22. And I
Yeah.
was like 15. Just
Yeah, I'd like just become a captain. Like just started like fishing career kind of.
And I kept blowing up his phone
All-
every week, sending him pictures of big snook. Like, bro, you got to come out here.
Come use
He never
trout
came
for
out-
bait. Come
he
use
ne-
trout for bait with me.
He
I'm
never.
like,
Whoa,
breaking the
dude.
Who? What the fuck?
He never came out once.
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you say something like that, it's just like,
But it was also like a 14-year-old kid being like, "Come hang out with me at night." I'm like, "No, I'm not doing that. You're not getting me, buddy. I know how this goes."
nice try,
Nope.
Copper.
Chris Hansen's gonna walk around the
Still
pier.
trying, dude. Still even trying.
How did we meet, Cody?
Probably, we like met at skimboarding.
Just skimming, right?
No, I will say I kept putting myself out there though.
Bro,
Meaning-
what the fuck, dude?
No,
You're the leave, not going.
No,
It's
meaning
been great having you, dude.
No,
like you were awesome. Thanks
no,
for
I
coming.
meant like we were at skimboarding competitions.
I don't know what.
And then you posted one thing about going to like Andrew's tattoo
I've
opening thing.
literally never put myself out there for another man in my life. That's fucking crazy.
What do you? I'm talking.
Okay,
about,
so yeah, that was great.
talking
Yeah,
about
we finally.
me.
What about like when did we first? When did I
trying
first?
to tell you,
No.
dude.
When do you? When do
Tell
you?
you the whole story.
No, we're talking.
You did good.
Telling you the
At
whole
what
story.
when did we become friends?
I'm trying to get to that.
Okay, the tattoo show, and
So we
then
were at the tattoo show. I met Squirrel. Then from Squirrel, I got in contact with James, and then I got sponsored by Apex through James. Mm-hmm. And then the girl
who runs a salon,
Didn't you guys?
which
meet
is
on-
also called a groomer.
there was
Didn't you guys meet on Twitch with?
no, Jack.
Bro, this is so
Jack,
fucking
there
not
was-
cool
there
at
was-
all. Like, you
There
guys,
was-
we are not horrible people. Like,
there.
it's just Cody. It's
It is just him.
keep going.
No, I brought this girl with me to the tattoo place, and you followed her and invited her to the Halloween party.
That's a Jack.
But you
move.
never followed me, and she didn't want to go. So I was like, "Hey, can you message him and see if you can bring a friend?" And then she did, and you said, "Yeah, that's fine." She was never planning on going,
That's a good move. Cody.
so I just showed up to the Halloween party and said she couldn't make it.
I just want to tell everyone
That's
out there.
some slimy ass shit, but I respect it.
If you're trying to get something out of someone or get somewhere, a hot chick is a great way to get in the
No,
door.
it worked out. And
Like-
then me and Jack were skimboarding at the beach on a Friday, and he was like, "Dude, yeah, you can come over, check out my shark tooth collection." And I was like,
Is that what I said, or did you ask me to see it multiple times?
"No,
before
we
that?
were just talking about shark teeth."
You offered it up.
I
And
just
you
like
said-
I didn't
put
I
yourself
knew
out
nothing
there?
about him. I
Bro.
just put myself out there, dude. I was just like, Cody, come to my house, dude.
And then when I came over, we were looking at shark teeth.
And your mind
then,
was blown.
And then that's when Paul showed up, and then Coronas were passed around, and that
And then
was
you slept on my couch for 2 days straight, right?
three, yeah,
Three?
because it was Pierce's birthday week that weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we ended. Yeah, I don't know. It was a, and then I basically lived on Jack's couch for like almost a year.
He's always been a good grum, though. Like, despite getting kicked off the team 20 to 30 times, like, he's a good grum. We'll find out this year.
What's your plan for getting hurt right away this time?
Well, there's no girls coming, so I don't need to get hurt.
True that.
Yes, there is.
Hey, taxi sliding door.
I didn't
just
tell
hit
you.
the ankle, you know?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't want you following him and DMing him a bunch of times before the trip.
Oh, yeah, is that what I do? Is that what I do?
No.
That's Josh playing. Leave it.
Oh, shit.
No, I just follow them.
So, Paul, tell us, like,
Just shouting people out now.
Paul,
Okay.
tell us about how'd you get into CNC work? How'd you get into, like, owning a machine shop? Tell us about
Owning a
that.
machine
Or you can tell us about the MILF that you used to know and love in Safety Harbor.
Or you can tell us about getting arrested on a sailboat.
Yeah,
Or you can talk
all
about-
three of those are sick.
Or you
my
can talk
favorite
about
story.
getting slapped by the cartel.
Ever.
Yeah, those 4 stories are pretty good.
Or I could talk about being harassed by Karen while being perped walk down Clearwater Beach wearing a...
Oh, tell the life jacket story.
Yes,
tell the life jacket
I
story.
love that story
Yep,
so
yes,
much, dude.
yes, Paul.
Like,
I was
Yes,
actually
Paul.
thinking about that one earlier.
Everyone, Paul Lapenna of Apex Skimboards.
All right, so we had a sick hurricane swell.
Lapenis.
And the shoal right outside of Clearwater Beach was working really well. And Jack and Turner both have jet skis, so we decided to do some tow-ins. So we got somebody in the window here. So we towed out to the shoal right outside of the channel at Clearwater Beach. And we're taking turns, but since there's a hurricane, it's a massive amount of current. And if you're not on the jet ski or being towed, you're drifting. So as you take turns, you drift a little bit, jet ski scoots back, picks you up, grabs you, get another ride. So I'm sitting there on my surfboard, not my surfboard, a surfboard I picked out from Jack's backyard. It was like pink and purple, soft top, like way too small. But it was good for tow-ins. But then it was Ricky's turn, and Ricky was not catching a wave, and I'm sitting there bobbing in the water waiting for the jet ski. Ricky's not getting a wave. I bobbed all the way to the pier at Clearwater Beach from the channel. And every time, so we had like these big swells from the south.
From the pier to the channel, you were bobbing?
Yes. And so what would happen is
With
I
a
was-
baby fucking life jacket and a
Yes,
board
oh,
that was
yeah.
not suitable for Paul's
What
fucking
do
stature.
you call a guy with no arms and no legs in a pool?
Bob. Okay.
No.
Okay, Paul, a little closer on the mic.
Okay.
Yep.
So anyway, not to mention the life jacket. So we found these life jackets like in the back shed over at Jack's dad's house, like 1980s, like
Garage sale.
faded out,
Yeah.
like neon green life jackets just look ridiculous.
Probably for like an 80-pound person, and it's on Paul.
So
maybe 100.
anyway, so now here's the real thing. So what you want to do is you always want to be in visual contact with the guy riding the jet ski so he knows where you are. So anytime like I was on the top of a wave, I saw the jet ski on the top of the wave, I just throw my hand up, make eye contact. I think it was like Turner was driving the jet ski at the time. Just make eye contact, make sure he knows that where I am. So as soon as Ricky gets his wave, he could scoot over and grab me. Well, it got to the point where like I was so far away, I wasn't even making eye contact with him anymore. And I was like, okay, the hell with this.
Drifted too far.
I'm just going to paddle in and walk back to the beach. Okay, whatever. So I paddled in a bit, caught a wave in, then just came down on my stomach, rode it in on my stomach all the way up to the beach. And I'm maybe like 50 or 60 feet from the beach. I finally look up from the water, and I see a crowd of people in a semicircle where I'm coming up, clapping their hands.
That you
Okay.
didn't
That I
die.
didn't drown. And I'm thinking, why are these people clapping? I mean, I'm obviously floating and breathing. I mean, but so apparently there was some Karen from like Ohio on the beach who'd never seen water before, knows there's a hurricane coming, thinking everybody in the water is a drowning victim, sees me waving at the jet ski, looking out to sea, mind you, not
As
at the
we're
shore.
doing tow-ins,
As we're doing tow-ins.
As there's surfers flying through the air getting launched into waves.
Okay, so, but interprets it as a distress call. Calls the lifeguard, calls the Coast Guard, calls the police department.
Oh my gosh.
They bring all the vehicles up to the beach, gets all the attention of all of the tourists on Clearwater Beach watching me. I had no clue any of this is going on because I'm looking out to the water.
I wonder how many like stories were posted on Instagram of just
I don't
Paul
know. I don't
waving
wanna
in
see
the
any of
water.
them.
I also just
Okay.
got to say the novelty of a full skate session going on in the background the entire time is kind of hilarious.
So anyway, so finally I get to shore. The people are clapping, and this Karen runs after me and starts screaming at me. Like, do you know what you did? Do you understand how many lives you put in danger? Do you... All this nonsense. And I just looked at her like, lady, you're crazy. And I walked all the way up the beach to the rocks with this lady following me, yelling at me how irresponsible I am for being in the water. And then I got up to the rocks and I just looked at her and said goodbye, and I just paddled right back out to the jet skis.
Fire.
Yeah, I mean,
And you know-
I don't get it.
That's not the first time that you've had a tussle
What, in
In-
Clearwater Beach?
in the Clearwater Pass.
Life jacket on.
Tell us about the boat incident.
Boat?
This is my
I guess
favorite.
we're past the statute of limitations on this one.
You don't have to if you don't want to, but I think it's a
All right,
fucking...
What
I'll
happened
tell
on the
this
boat,
one.
Paul?
This one was kind of...
Hold the mic a little closer to your mouth if you can.
Okay, I'm not used to being on the internet. These
Yeah, so
people
Paul,
try
like,
and keep me on the internet.
Paul,
nonstop.
he's
A sailor.
so good. Like, honestly, Paul, if I knew you well and I didn't see you use SolidWorks, I would think that you didn't know how to turn
You keep on trying to turn it back to this machine shop conversation.
No, I would think that
And
you
I
wouldn't
keep-
know how to turn a computer on.
Yeah.
But then I saw you use SolidWorks. I was like, no way. Paul like is really, really good at what he knows.
Yeah.
But like anything that's
No, but if
outside
you
of your
give me-
realm of expertise is kind of just like
If you give
hate
me
it.
like a real computer that's not like a terminal to AI metaverse, I can use it. Okay, but this modern stuff is just not computing anymore.
Were you gonna say something, Eric?
No, I was saying the boat story was my favorite.
Oh, you want to
story.
hear? Do you want to hear the CNC or the boat story?
I don't care.
Boat story.
We'll go with the boat story, and then we'll go to your like
Okay.
origins at the end. I
Origin
guess for
story.
some reason.
Okay.
Usually we start with the origin story, but Paul's
Paul,
got
you
some
are
fucking stories.
you are a very interesting man.
Well,
If
thank
you didn't
you.
know that.
Yeah.
And that's why he's on the podcast, and that's
No,
why.
that's why I'm on the Dos Equis commercial.
That's why I'm on here too, right?
You dressed up as that guy, didn't you?
Not yet.
Yes. Paul. What? What'd
Okay,
you say,
so
Cody?
anyway, the boat story.
Nothing, it's
So
fine.
right before
Lock it up, dude.
COVID became a really big thing, I ended up buying a high-performance catamaran sailboat out of Australia, and decided to learn how to sail on it. Never sailed a day in my life, but I think I'm pretty decent at it now. It's like 6 years later. So this is kind of when I was still in more of like I know enough to be dangerous on it, but not enough to be safe on it. And I would go out all day and have lunch and stop at some spoil islands and then sail back on the Gulf and then call it a day, call it an evening, come back as the sun's setting. I'd bring lunch, bring a couple of beers with me and just, make a day out of it.
Yeah.
So
So when
now-
you told me you capsized like 8 times.
No, I've
I think
capsized it like 50 times.
Okay, well you know that you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, Paul, and remember when you
But you-
almost killed me?
That's part of it, though.
Is
part of
it? Is
it,
it
yeah.
part of
Small
it?
sailboats, like you learn how to flip the boat back over.
Paul,
Yeah.
no,
Oh yeah.
there's
Yeah.
a-
Like a catamaran.
Yeah,
and
no, all you
it's
do
like
is you just have to you have to
stand
go around.
on the rudder board and pull
Right,
on the
but
line.
you
yeah.
have to go
yeah.
around. You have to fix all the lines. You got to get the sail in the right orientation. There's a little bit
Let
of a
the water
process to it.
drain and then switch.
There's a little bit of a
put it
process
against
to
the
it.
wind so the wind can
Exactly.
push
yeah,
it back
Paul,
up.
Paul
Yeah.
took me
But then you
sailing
just pop
one
the thing right
time
back up.
and almost killed me.
If we're gonna keep saying catamaran, I gotta shout out James McCann and the catamaran plan. Just if you know, you know.
All right. So anyway, let me finish this story.
Keep going. All right. Well, I just
Okay.
wanted to cut you off before it really started becoming a high octane story.
Okay.
Because this shit really does fly off the handlebars really fast.
All right. So now I'm coming back to.
You've heard this story,
I'm
right?
coming back to Clearwater.
2 days after.
On the Gulf.
Okay.
On the Gulf. And on the Gulf, when you get, nice, good sea breeze, you get some nice swells. They're not impacting the shore, but, they're kind of going side shore. So if you're out there offshore with the boat, you just hop on the swell and you just ride it for like 1,000 yards and then just hop over, skip onto the next swell, do a tack, whatever, work your way back. And you just hop on these swells. And then with the catamaran, you get out on like a trapeze line and you're hanging off the hull. You got one hull up in the air and it's super fun. It's like
So fun.
It's like a magic carpet.
It's like almost
So-
like getting barreled. It's like riding a wave. You're riding a wave.
Yeah.
You're riding a wave
Literally, yeah.
and the wind at the same time.
Yeah,
It's
and then
beautiful.
commanding this machine
You're
that's
like
way larger than any board I've ever
pulling
ridden.
in the sail and
Yeah.
letting it out so that you can bob up and like keep, you find
yeah.
a nice little sweet spot in there.
So
It's-
I'm getting a little bit greedy, okay? And I sent a little too hard and flipped the boat just like I did the other.
just like 40 or 50 times
just
prior
like,
to that.
So okay, no big deal. Okay, whatever. So I hop on the backside of the hull. I start working on the sails, flipping the thing around into the wind. As I'm doing this, I see a Clearwater Beach SUV police car coming up the beach. It's like, okay, no big deal. The guy's doing his like evening patrol. I'm
I've
coming in.
been on
No
these
big deal.
roads before in the
Yeah.
last story. Yep.
So he sees a vessel in distress.
Fair.
Immediately calls.
A capsized sailboat is a vessel in distress.
Oh,
like,
what?
if you were in
I
the
didn't
middle of
think
the
so.
Clearwater
Above a
Pass,
certain size, though.
yeah, but
No,
if
this
you
isn't
are
the pass. This is about like 2 miles north. you know.
Okay, all
it's
right.
Up, it's up past like the
Like 880.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah, like 8. Yeah, like yeah.
Handle it.
Okay, just south of Caladisi. Okay, and so he calls the police boat. Police boat was already in the water. The police boat was there in like 2 minutes. I'm still trying to set up. Okay, so then the police boat comes up to me, and I was like, oh, great, the boat's here. I could get this done faster. I could just tell him to just go over where the mast is, just lift the thing out of the water. We could pop this thing right back up, and I could go sail home. Okay, but then he immediately treats it as a capsized boat and a rescue operation. I'm like, bro, I do not need to be rescued. Just help me out a little bit. He manages to crash the police boat into my rudder and the dagger board, knocks the rudder clean off the boat. The rudder goes just floating away. The dagger board's just cracked in half. And so I jump into the water, swim after the rudder, catch the rudder, then swim the rudder back, and I say, hey, just grab this thing. So now the police officer in the police boat now has my rudder with a cracked dagger board on it. So then he said, well, you need to board on the police boat, and we need to tow this vessel. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just getting ridiculous at this point. So now now they basically more or less confiscate me. Put me
I
on
think it's
board
called
their
being
boat.
detained, Paul.
Yeah, at this point, they confiscated me.
Yeah.
They detained me later.
Okay.
They tie a rope to my boat and try towing it against the wind. They realize that's not going to work. So then they call up the guy in the SUV, tell him to meet them at shore. They drift my boat to shore, and there's like miles of clean, nice, sandy shoreline, but it's high tide, and there's like about a 200-yard patch of mangroves that stick out into the Gulf when it's high tide. They stick my sailboat, sail first, into the mangroves and completely destroy the sail. Then they release it and leave it there for the guy on the SUV to deal with it. Then meanwhile, the guy at the SUV, he starts looking at the boat, and I had a cooler there and had a couple beers with me. And because I don't want to pollute, I took the empty cans and I put the empty cans into the cooler so I could throw them away when I got back. Oh, this man's been drinking. So then they take me, they drive they drive me all the way to shore, and then they give me a breathalyzer, and I was 0.001 above the Florida limit.
Oh, man.
And decide, oh, there's a DUI.
That
They
should be
hauled
for
me in
driving,
and put
not
me-
sailing. If you don't have a fucking
There's-
motor, you
it's-
should get a couple extra half a points, right?
No,
Mary?
I
What you
do
think?
not need a license for this boat. The boat has no power. It's essentially a paddleboard with a sail on.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can't do that
doesn't have
much
to be a
damage
registered
with it.
boat.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, they'll let any drunk idiot rent a jet ski and go fucking crash into like every jetty and every boat. Like 90% of deaths are on jet skis that are rented.
Yeah.
When it comes to
It's a
boats,
block
and, like,
of air with a blanket.
all right, continue.
So now,
continue.
meanwhile, now the guy in the SUV lashes the boat, drags it 3 miles all the way down the beach, abandons it behind some resort. It's on the beach to be vandalized, which did happen. And then they haul me off to 49th Street, keep me overnight, get bailed out. And not to mention, I didn't have my cell phone or nothing on me because I'm going to jail in my board shorts.
salty. Oh my goodness.
salty.
So do you still have that on your record?
No, it got
No.
dropped.
Okay. Did you
Yeah.
make $1 million after you sued
No,
him?
no.
I really
hold
just
on.
wish
Let
I
me
would have
Yeah, let him
downloaded
finish,
the
let him
body
finish.
cam footage of that.
So anyway, where was I? So anyway,
You're at 49th Street.
right? So the only phone number that I memorized in my head, okay, which I should know a lot of phone numbers, but was my parents' house phone number. But I wouldn't call. I'm not calling my parents' house because it was Father's Day.
Yeah.
I am not calling my dad on Father's Day
From jail.
from jail
Happy Father's Day,
to bail me out.
I fucking would. I tell you that. I fucking would. 100%. Hey,
So-
Dad. Happy Father's Day. You dumbass. Okay.
So one way or another, since it was my parents' address, they end up, when you go to jail, the lawyers come out of the woodwork. They send pamphlets to every address that's ever.
And your parents
registered.
got one.
So yeah, so that next morning, on Sunday morning, Father's Day, in the mail. You're not supposed to get mail. These people have the lawyers have their
They
own
drive them
couriers.
by and they
Yeah.
just put them
Yes.
in. Yeah. Oh,
so
man.
they dropped off a piece
On
of mail
Father's Day?
On Father's
Do
Day.
you know what fucking firm that was? Because I would
don't
like
know.
to.
So anyway, my parents ended up getting a hold of the people at the jail, and by the time I already went through the whole rigmarole,
You were bailed out.
and- No, I wasn't bailed out because I didn't ask for anybody to bail me out. I went before the judge. This judge was a piece of work. She was handing out ankle bracelets like Oprah hands out like gift baskets. And if you get an ankle bracelet, you get it. So anyway, I get an ankle bracelet. So that's how I got out of jail. Was they stuck an ankle bracelet on?
No shit. How did I not get a picture of you with an ankle bracelet on? That's
I remember you telling me this story like a few days after it happened.
I pissed
and you
myself,
were so
dude.
pissed. And you're
Yep.
like, you was fucking crashing into my boat, and then there was beer cans floating around the boat. And now, dude, like, Paul, you're the only one who could get a DUI on a little catamaran sailboat. Like, you're the only one.
Oh, perfect. You're here. Yeah, can you go to that side of the boat? I need help. It's like, yes, I know you need help, sir. Well,
I can make some money off this, though. I'm not helping you.
let me just get my quota in. It's the 29th of the month, and this fucking guy.
It's only Father's Day.
All right, so one time, Paul got super drunk at a bar. We're like, you know what? We know the bar owners. They've got this classic truck sitting outside that doesn't move. We're just going to sit Paul in the front of the truck, let him sleep. Well,
Then the fucking
One of the bouncers seen
pulls
Paul.
out. Is like, hey, get out of there. Paul's like, I'm supposed to be here.
we come outside, and he's getting his ass kicked by bouncers for being in the owner's truck that we put him in. And then he's just sitting on the sidewalk all beat up. Like, why is this happening to me? I don't even know where I am right now.
All right, dude. This podcast is not to point out the fucking
I love Paul so much.
horrible things that have happened to Paul in his
It's
life.
just great stories.
a lot of
He
good stuff's
does,
happening to
dude,
me,
but
too.
like, everyone's got a couple good stories, Paul has a handful, and I wouldn't be. Skimboarding has been an incredible experience because Paul's allowed me to go make my own boards the last 5 or 6 years. The first year I made my own board and I put a ton of work into it. I won the Cabo contest.
Yeah.
Ever since then, I've been making my own boards every single time. I mean, I always put my 2 cents in, like, oh, I want a little bit less width, I want some more taper, blah, 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 like whatever I think is good. But actually getting to make your own boards has been a very, very rewarding experience as a skimboarder. It's
are
like
you guys taking the winch?
Yeah, and we have twice as
So,
many batteries.
Speaking of Paul and skimboarding, last year at Cabo, it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Turner brought this like badass electric winch. Paul gets everything set up, has some money to throw in for prizes, and you guys got all the pros together. Everyone who wasn't scared, at least.
Anyone who was a pro was
And
allowed 2 toes. And if
just-
they killed it, they could get an extra one.
It was super cool. It was like way more hype than the whole contest. Like,
Never seen anything like that. And I have a good news. Exile sponsored the winch competition
Sick.
this year.
nice.
The only 2 skimboard companies
Heck
are
yeah.
Apex and Exile. And I think putting those names next to each other is going to be really cool. It's like
No, that's good.
We've
Good
kind
on
of been
them.
like the biggest rivalry for all time, and I don't know if I didn't ask him if I could divulge this information. This is all theoretical, obviously. But Aaron hit me up and was like, hey, man, is this going to be like an Apex thing or is this like a community thing? I was like, it's a community thing. Like, this is for all of us. Like, we want people to be a part of this because it's fucking epic. And he said that he would, sponsor the contest. And, like, I think that's really sick because he saw how sick it was last year.
If there's any skimboarders or skimboard companies watching, you guys all need to work together. Yeah. And skimboarding will not make it if everybody's trying to hold the
have a company
bag.
or if you are at home and you want to contribute to the impromptu Cabo San Lucas winch towing competition this year, hit me up, send me an email. It's in the description. Shoot me a DM. If you want to have a company and you're like, hey, I got $200, we'll put your name in the video.
No, even if you're just anybody wants to donate.
Can I donate?
Anyone. Yeah, just for a shout out.
Exactly. That was the other thing because
product.
we had at the competition last year, we just had random spectators opening their wallets
and just giving people money.
Just giving guys money for doing sick stuff.
Every single dollar that you send us will go straight to the skimboarders, will be spread between the judges. Mm-hmm. It's Paul's idea. He was at Skate Park at Tampa one year, so we have to give Skate Park at Tampa their obvious.
Give credit to Matt Outside.
Matt Outside as well.
Matt Outside really told me to do that to the skimboard.
Cash for tricks. It's just like if you get a sick wave, if you go a giant air, if you send it, you get cash. And I just think it's just like the coolest thing ever. We got a judge from Zap, and we got 2 Exile judges for a contest that was held by Jug Squad and Apex, just because it's like, is it more fun with all the top pros, or is it more fun if, like, you make it just about us? But it was like the coolest fucking thing ever. It was so much fun. Everyone was just getting handed a bunch of cash. And once they saw you doing it, you're right, everybody on the beach just started pulling out money. If you had fucking 20 pesos in your pocket, you see somebody do something sick.
Yeah.
I've been to probably over 100 skimboarding events, and it was number 1 or number 2 best skimboarding event for just hype and excitement. That one year at Cabo, the final with Sam and Boyo, like, was the craziest skim contest I've ever seen. But the winch contest last year, it was like the
Turner's
most energy
wave.
I've ever seen in like a skimboarding event. Like, it was like there was no like slow moment. Like,
it was nonstop.
Contest, like, all right, well, this heat sucked.
Yeah,
this heat's slow. There was no waves in this heat, and everybody's sitting there quietly, like, listening to some guy talk. That was just all pure energy. Even like when we were just getting the rope to get back to the next guy.
People were still going after waves
Everybody
in between.
was working together and like getting the rope back to the next guy and telling people when to go and when to stop. And like, it was the most excitement I've ever seen in skimboarding by far for an event that was like a couple hours notice. Like, in an afternoon, you put up a flyer.
I made a flyer on the beach in the sand underneath a tent from our tequila sponsor so that I had shade. And I made the flyer, and then that evening we sent it out to, I made a group chat called Support Skimboarding, and anytime there's like a big contest, we just put it in there. It's like, if you're a pro and you're not promoting every fucking skimboarding contest on the planet, like,
if you're not supporting each other.
Exactly.
At one point,
and Lucas was our head judge, and he announced the whole contest for us. Like, in the very beginning, when Paul started Apex, Exile was, I would say, our biggest rival. Just not in like a bad way. It was just like we just have different views, different ways of making boards. And Skim Online, the forum was. I'm not gonna lie, I might have not helped that much. People did not like me. People did not like me in the skimboarding community growing up because I just said whatever the fuck I wanted at any given time, the whole time. And like, I'm a little fucking 13-year-old shithead from the Gulf Coast that like has never caught a wave over head high. So like, why would you listen to me? But like, eventually, 15 years later, when we establish ourselves in the skim community. But it's cool that like throughout all of our like everything that's happened, everyone in skimboarding is a group. It's all a core family. We all hold it down. Aaron Pelusa is a great dude. Exile's a great company. We love them. We love everything they've done for the sport. Obviously, I personally feel like our boards are better, but I might be biased.
Well, now that we put that many staples in it.
Oh, dude. No. The utmost respect for every skimboard company on the planet. Paul will never talk shit publicly about another skimboard company in the world. He might make a drunk joke every now and then, like, my rails are better than yours. Like, your rails are inferior. But, like, we're just having fun. Like, And that's kind of skimboarding is the reason we've been going to Cabo for so long. It's the reason that Merrick went there with me in 2016. It's the reason we're going there in 2 days. It's the reason that Cody is our friend.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't for
the
Cabo,
only reason.
If it wasn't for Cabo, I would not be friends with Cody.
Well, I will say
100%.
Yeah, because you were hurt that year, and you used me with all my fails as content, so it worked out.
And I respect you for that so much, Cody. You're my dog.
Yeah, I know.
So Cody, are you excited about Cabo? We should probably let you like at least get a little 2 cents in. How do you think this year is going to go? Are you excited? What are your expectations?
I'm literally gonna get so.
Eric's like, I'm gonna go pee now. It's a good time. Good time to walk out.
No, I think this year is the year that I get the biggest cider barrel of my life.
Nice. Same. I would like that too. I've been.
Because last year I had the ciders down, but it's so hard for me to not skim even if the waves are ass.
Yeah.
Because I'm just addicted.
Because you're from Florida where waves don't really
so
exist
like
as
a
much.
2-foot wave in Cabo is like a 10-foot wave here.
And remember, make sure you comment down below what punishment we have to give Edwin for not showing up to this podcast. I'm really excited for Cabo. I made some beautiful boards. That's fine, Paul. You don't need to worry about that. I think we can wrap it up. Do you guys think there's anything else we really need to touch on?
We just completely skipped the subject that you kept on pressing the entire time.
Oh yeah, we got to tell origin story. Origin story. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing. Like what got you into CNC? Why do you run a machine shop? Like, what interested you in that?
How do you
Also,
get-
you're a fucking pilot, Paul.
Oh, yeah,
you
I'm a
helped us
pilot,
build
too.
the Flugtag airplane in your warehouse. We didn't
Yeah.
even touch on that at all.
No, we didn't talk about airplanes either.
We didn't talk about airplanes. We didn't talk about Flugtag. We didn't talk about Paul's CNC shop. I'm like, I think we covered everything except for like, the main
Everything
things
else.
that make the main things that are like his entire focal point in his life. So tell us about like just what got you to where you are in terms of like business and your interest in machine
We'll
shop.
say this. So, my parents, they were very. How do I put this? I was about 11 years old.
Adults?
No, they basically like completely decided I had no prospect of getting any recreational toys. So I realized I had to go to work for myself at that point at 11 years old. And if I wanted to do anything fun. So I started, washing cars, cutting grass, and doing all that stuff. So one of my customers, I used to cut grass. He's actually a famous YouTuber, believe it or not. His name's Mark Serbu, and he does all sorts of stuff in the pew industry. And when he was first getting started,
Star Wars. So he worked with George Lucas.
not George Lucas. I mean, that's a little too phony for the likes of Mark Serbu, but he was getting started in his business in his garage, and he had a whole machine shop set up. And he asked me when I'm not cutting grass, can I come in and run his machines? So there I am, like young little kid, running these industrial machines in this guy's garage down the block, doing pew stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting. So I learned how to do everything, and then I've always been involved in just building stuff, and was always involved in RC airplanes, and that's actually how I started making skimboards, through RC airplanes. But I went and did an engineering program, got out of the engineering program, and started working at a tool and die shop, and it was basically a carbide mill, grinding carbide tools. And I worked my first job there, started wiping down machines and cleaning stuff, and worked my way up to the lead tool maker on the plant floor and making all sorts of crazy tooling. And I left that place, got involved in the archery industry. And
Wait, what about the time that you asked your redneck friends what they were up to for the weekend? They said, we got a case of bush.
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
That's over at the archery industry. So then I completely switched gears. And then I started working in the archery industry at a crossbow factory, and learned everything there is to know about the most advanced technology there is in archery, and doing all the prototypes, making machinery for testing equipment in archery. And you meet some interesting cats in that environment. And there's one guy, he was a shooter for us, and he would just go out in the back and just shoot crossbows all day long and just tell us what's messed up, what's wrong, what's right, this and that. guy, he would wear a wife beater every day to work, and he was the most tan person you'd ever see. But if you pulled off his white beater, his skin was more white than the white wife beater underneath his wife beater. And, we would talk about, what we're getting up to over the weekend. So one weekend, we're talking to him Monday. He's like, yeah, I just went diller kicking. Like, diller kicking? So, yeah, go get a pack of Busch beer and go out kicking dillers. Like, what's a diller? It's like, an armadillo. Okay, so I guess that's the thing up in Pasco County. You go get drunk on the weekends and go kick some dillers. So, I mean, it's
that's
a
the
whole
most
different
Florida
world
shit
in the skimboard
I've ever heard.
industry.
I think it's
Short of harpooning a manatee.
It's a small world because we talked about this years ago, but
I've been diller kicking too.
the guy that you replaced at the crossbow factory was a machinist who worked for my dad for years and ended up going to jail.
Oh.
And that it's like such a small
I know
world.
that story.
Like you took his job, and I was like, yeah, my dad kind of had a guy who did something like that, and he got accused of maybe taking some stuff from the shop or something. We don't gotta go into it, but you know,
Yeah, I know that story.
Yeah, it's just a small world,
It is a very small world.
Diller kicking, huh?
Diller kicking, dude.
Dude, I saw a video the other day of a diller in Mexico. This sucker was like this.
Really?
Dude, biggest armadillo I ever seen.
You know they used to be the size of cars.
Glyptodons.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. I thought about it. I'm like, man, they were bigger down in South
Dude,
America.
they're like punch buggies, yeah.
But so anyway, to finish the story, archery factory ended up moving. They were liquidating the plant, and I hopped in before they auctioned off all the equipment and talked to them and put together a little package and bought essentially a machine shop from that factory and
Nice.
set it up over at the old Skimboard shop and made myself my own tool and die CNC equipment, and just now I just work for all sorts of industries. And it's really cool. I just got involved in aerospace. Now I'm doing jet engines and all sorts of other stuff, making the equipment that makes your commercial jets fly right now. And I think that's, I never dreamed I would have been involved in that, but it's just the way things just sort of work out, and just networking and talking to people and meeting people and telling them what you do. And I think that's the most important thing, is just tell people what you do and tell them what you're good at and make sure everybody knows that. And sooner or later, if he knows this guy and she knows him and her or whatever, I don't even know, and word gets around. And
Paul's very learned. He's one of the only people in my life that has told me that you need to be more learned.
whatever, I'm just making up grammar at that point.
Yeah, for sure. But in any case, you have done so much in your life that has been kind of I feel like it's been like an evolution, you learn, you're a man that learns. Paul will never speak about something that he is not 100% educated on unless it's in a satirical sense, he will make jokes. He will tell you about the southern perimeter of the earth all day.
What are you saying that that's not something I'm fully learned upon?
Yeah, bro. You know the cool part about making rocket stoves? They don't even have to work.
Come on, bro.
The aerospace industry, huh?
But I wanted to touch briefly on the reason you got into Apex is because your friend basically told you that you couldn't make a board when you said, I think I can do this. He's like, no, you can't. And then you went to your garage and you made a couple of boards.
That was interesting. Yeah,
and that was long before Apex.
We would this is actually skimming behind Jack's house.
Yep.
It was over at the Cameron Cove, which is a block
with the
south.
Couglers, of course.
Yeah, the Alec Kugler.
They were some of the first people to have boards.
That came years. That was years later. But we all had Zap boards, and we were in high school and stuff, and we would go skim over at Cameron Cove, and jump the fence, hop in the hotel spa, and just kind of decompress after a session. And we're just hanging out, looking at the boards that's sitting next to the spa there, and I just casually said, I bet I can make one of these. I've been involved in making RC airplanes my whole life, and I just saw okay, we do foam cut wings, and we would put a sheeting over it, and it's kind of same thing. It's just a little bit more heavily built for water instead of air.
So you made some shitty boards.
Yeah, so I made
How long after that first board did you keep evolving the technology?
I think we need to bring in Matt Chai from the skateboard session. to tell the podcast about my first board. He can tell that story way better than I could ever dream.
Is that because of the beer?
No. Because I've known Matt my entire time. Matt and I, we moved to Florida almost at the same time. I came from New York, he came from Jersey. We ended up at the same school. We ended up living like down the block from each other. So we know each other's like brains inside and out because we just hung out every day. So he saw me make this board, and he will rip this board apart to a level that you can't imagine. And I would really like to invite him on the podcast.
Cody, go get him. Bring him in here.
Tell everybody about this stupid board I made. Okay. So, anyway, maybe we could put it on pause for a second.
Dude, look, Cody's helping the podcast.
I know.
I know. It's sick. I honestly completely forgot he was here for a couple minutes.
You said,
Poor Cody.
I want to touch on this real quick, and I was about to say, Cody? And then you went into it.
No, that's literally only you thinking
I was
that,
dying.
man. You're the
I was
only
dying.
one that was thinking that. That's crazy.
No, that's the way you said it.
No, I don't want to touch on anything.
Yeah, you did.
Nope. I'm really excited for Cabo, though. The swell looks insane.
Right.
I don't know. We've been through it all. From like punching each other in the face as Groms. You remember that time you cheese sandwiched at my house at a party?
Oh, yeah.
We don't need to talk about it. We need to show a quick clip. Yeah, that was nice. That was fun. But it's crazy, dude. Like, I was a Grom that was ignored for a long time, and then like I think we became friends the first year that you came to Cabo, because I rode for Apex for a number of years, and then when we started like talking more from like in a more personal level, like less like, like you're making me boards. I'm like, hey, would you want to come? And then you came, and I feel like we actually like had some fun together outside of like our professional, like I give you $40 when you make me a board as a tip because I'm a sponsored rider, and like I'm just like, that was our relationship for a long time. You would make me a board, I would give you a tip because I like appreciated that you made it for me. My dad told me that if I don't tip you, then I'm a fucking loser. Like, he made your fucking board by hand, give him some money. So like, I feel like that was our relationship for years until we went to Mexico together. And then like we went out in the streets and had some beers and like laughed and like had a good time. Then like it went from being like, I'm a fucking grommet to like, I started becoming like, I turned like 18, and then I started like running my own business, and we're doing the Juke Squad, and we're like actually promoting Apex from like a standpoint of like, this isn't some shithead 13-year-old anymore. This is like somebody who's actually going to help my company in some way, So it's just like a crazy evolution of our friendship and our professional relationship that's brought us to the point to now we've like gone to Cabo for like 6 years in a row.
All right.
We need you to shit on Paul's original board.
Are you filming right now?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, what up?
Grab that mic. Take a seat.
All right.
Oh, God. This is
Yo,
gonna be,
yo, yo.
This is going to be
Is
embarrassing.
this loud?
So anyway, this is my best friend in the whole wide world, Matthew Chai. We
Is this
grew up
live
together.
right now?
So
Yo,
if anybody
what's up?
can
I
shit
just
talk
skated.
on me, if anybody can shit talk on me, it's this guy. This guy has more unreleased footage
Oh,
of
man.
me being a jackass than Jackson could ever imagine.
That's epic. You have to get a fucking link to that folder and so forth.
Oh, there's so much collateral. I love it. It's been
So
an
just
ongoing.
like in closing, because we're already an hour and
Yeah.
10 minutes in, Paul was talking about the first skimboards that he ever made and like what the foundation of Apex and how, compared to the technology now, where was Paul then?
Oh, wait, oh,
The first board.
The very
fuck.
beginning. Take
Oh,
us back.
shit. Oh, my God. Yeah, Precious? We're talking about that? Precious? Or,
Is that a name?
Wait, we're talking about ROTC?
I've never heard of Precious.
Yo. Oh, man. Shout out Henky P if he ever watches this, man. Right?
You see what I'm talking about?
Oh, man. There's a lot of stuff. But
He said you would tear it apart.
shout out also to
So
you,
we
though,
want to hear
bro, and your
all-
brother for that mini ramp out there, and Paul.
You like it? Yeah, so.
yeah, dude.
Hey, I
Paul
put more work
sweaty
into
as
that
shit.
than anybody. I don't know what
Huh?
you do.
Hey,
Jack's gonna
bitch.
claim he did, but
I fucking
it was
helped a
all
lot.
my tools.
I'll let you all figure that out, but yeah.
Jack likes to
No,
claim
that fucking
things
mini
that I
ramp
do.
rips, though. I just skated for the last hour.
All right. Merrick,
Yeah.
Merrick put more screws in the bitch than anybody did. But I did design a pretty good ramp,
He
right?
did design it.
Yeah. On Photoshop, I just Like, it kind of worked out, though. It's sick.
Yeah.
All right, rip Paul to shreds. Thank
Let's
you.
hear this first word.
Oh my God. We talk about Precious and let's just say that like the things that we made or Paul made recently for Pollo is probably like mint condition compared to what those were like. That was like,
Holy
you know,
shit.
people know about the Pollo from last year, or whatever it was 2 years ago.
Honestly,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
messed
yeah.
up, dude.
Yeah.
What the heck? I would not have gone that far.
Yeah. I mean, there were some things that were good, I thought. I don't know. You made a few boards, right, for Gallagher, right? You made one green one I remember you had in college, and, you know, that was decent, but anyway, they were all trash. There we
want to
go.
hear the horse story.
But it's just crazy, like hearing Paul's whole story to see like where he started and like just creating boards in the garage to having a successful CNC business and everything he knows, like building airplanes. Like he taught me how to fly RC airplanes, and that kind of, you know, that was like a wild thing for me to experience. And just he's brought so much to our channel and so much value to like our builds. And like if we ever like hit a roadblock when it comes to building something, you can ask Paul and he'll be like, well, you could probably just go buy some fucking PVC pipes and then just screw in a couple things and get some chicken wire. Like all of a sudden our dreams come to life. So like Paul's like a very good person that like when you're like doubting yourself when it comes to a build, he'll just break it down and like how it's like, this is
It's
how
called
you
an engineer.
Yeah, he's an engineer, of course.
Mastermind.
Paul is the Juke Squad engineer for the fucking ages. And him being on the podcast was me, Merrick, and Edwin all agreed. We're like, yeah.
Of course.
Of course.
Probably going to need another one just to keep telling stories.
Yeah. We could
Paul
do
is
3
the
more
MacGyver.
Paul
No
casts
doubt.
for sure. Can you give us a philosophy for the world? If you wanted to send a message out to the people that are viewing this, what would you say to them? Hold the mic up to your mouth, too.
No pressure.
You can't. They're more spontaneous.
Yeah,
I
you
guess.
can't throw
That's
him on
okay.
the spot like that. It's
Matt,
like tell me a joke. you
What
know?
is something that Paul has taught you in your friendship with him over the
I
last
mean,
10 years?
I will say this too. Like, I kind of was like shitting on him a bit there, but
That's why
Paul's a
that's
fucking
why we
genius.
brought you
We
in.
love Paul. I mean, no, you're like a MacGyver. We always talked about that. The stuff you would build would be so sick. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, at the time, maybe in hindsight, not as good, but like amazing at the time, right? But whatever.
I couldn't have built Tubeco without Paul. That was a 50-50 venture there.
You got to finish that.
There's a lot of
We
stuff.
do
I don't
have
know
to
if we can
finish
talk
that, but we
about,
still
you know.
created something that will change the world, in my opinion.
Got to finish it.
Yeah, you're right. But, I mean, you know, we kind of wanted to close on that. You know, Paul wanted to bring Matt in to talk shit on his boards when
you wanted-
nowadays he knew that you were, he knew that it would. The technology now is so good. Like, these skimboards are so strong. If I go and I hit my board against Cody's board, it's fine. If I do it to any other brand, they fucking crack. I don't do it anymore. I don't hit my board against other people's boards. I went up to my friend, and I was like, durability, and I hit their board against my board, and their board fucking shattered, and I was like, that never would have happened to an Apex, and I never did that again after that. I felt horrible, but like, holy shit, like...
You just have a tomahawk. Just going through.
Dude, but if you slam 2 Apexes together, they're fine. That's awesome. They're fine, and then that's kind of wild. So, Paul, respect to you. Thank you for being a guest.
Yeah.
Matt, thanks
Hell
for
yeah.
coming in.
Thank you.
That other
Yeah.
dude, what was it? Who? Cody, thank you, Cody. We appreciate you being here, too. Paul,
Who is that?
what do you have to say about Paul? Get a closing statement on Paul.
Paul. Oh, man. The things I could say about you.
All right, that's enough.
No,
Paul,
I'm
I love
kidding.
you. I appreciate you.
Paul knows I love him. He just needs to be careful around me at 3 a.m. when he's had a few beers because he gets a little touchy.
A little handsy.
Yeah, he gets a little handsy.
Well, this has been the SquadCast. It's been an exciting episode. I think we're going to have to bring Paul and Cody back on because clearly Paul is much more interesting. But I feel like after a couple years, Cody's going to get there because he's our apprentice. He's our protege. He's going to do incredible things. It's just a matter of time. Be sure to like and subscribe. It's been fun. I can't wait to go to Cabo in 2 days. Merrick, we're going to miss you, but you were the original Cabo crew, so you'll hold it down while we're gone. Make sure that, Cody's dog gets fed and all that good stuff. And
Yeah, right. I'm letting that thing go.
that's tight. That's smart. I don't think he can take care of himself, let alone a dog. But it's been a great podcast. Comment down below what Edwin's punishment is, and we'll see you for a couple live streams in Mexico.
Hell yeah.
Follow us on Twitch if you want to see us live in the streets of Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. And until next time,